So you're out of the Navy and you didn't ever earn, had you ever earned your GED while you were in the Navy?
No. When I got out of the Navy, you wonder how I have a doctorate in law. you wonder how I got that. It wasn't by correspondence. I didn't. No, I did not go. I did not get a GED while I was in the Navy. I was busy doing other things. I did. I did the things that men did, and the guys that were my age did pretty dangerous things, some dangerous things. But in any event, no, I did not. But when I got out, I had the GI Bill, and I could go to the GI Bill had been extended to Korean veterans, and I was a veteran of that conflict by the months and so forth. Even though I was in the other end of the world, and so I could go to college, but I didn't have a high school degree. I went to my sister lived at that time. She had married and lived in Hutchinson, Kansas, and they had a junior college there, and I went out there to take a GED test, and the test took 2 days to see about my senior year. But I scored so high on the test I didn't have to do the senior year. They gave me my diploma. They didn't get. They sent my test scores to Gage, and I got a diploma from Gage. It took me 2 days to do my senior year. I got it in 2 days on the test, because they graded you on percentiles, and 100 percentile meant you had done better than 100% of all the other people that took the test. 90, and my lowest percentile on all the categories was 87, I think, and the others were up in the 90s. So I scored really high. And they didn't want to use and send me back to high school. They just passed me.
So then, did you apply for college or enroll in college?
Yes, I did.
Had you made up your mind what you wanted to do?
No, I wanted to go to college, but I had to get that high school out of the way, and I got it out of the way. But I was my high school. The last high school I went to had 12 people in my class. And I was scared to go to a school that had 14,000. And my stepmother then and my brother lived in Fort Smith. And as I said, I would visit them. And on one of my visits after I came back, I told my stepmother that I wanted to go to school, but I was scared to go. And she said, well, we've got a nice junior college here. And it's only, it's got a total enrollment probably of 250 people. And if you would like to, you can come and stay with us. Or you can stay with us and go to school if you want to. And she invited me to do that, and I took her up on it. And so my first 2 years of college was at Fort Smith Junior College. And then and that's where I met Carol. I got a scholarship from there. I got a scholarship to TU. So I had the GI Bill. I got a scholarship from Fort Smith Junior College.
Was that an academic scholarship?
As an academic scholarship, and to do my other 2 years. And I still had the GI Bill. And met Carol there, and when we finished the college, at the junior college, we moved to Tulsa, and because I had the scholarship.
So that's where you got your degree. Was in Tulsa.
I got my degree, and I had a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a major in accounting that I got from Tulsa University. And I went to work for Marathon Oil, and I had another job before that, but very shortly I was working for what was then Ohio Oil Company, and it changed their name back and forth to Marathon. I worked for Marathon, and Marathon had a program that if you went to college after hours or something like that, they would, if it related to if they felt like it might improve you for a future employee, they would pay for it. And so I had my tuition paid for law school. Now, not my college. I had the GI Bill, and I got $110 a month. And I married Carol, and I got $135 a month. I got an extra 25
She's worth $25.
for her, and she got by on it somehow. But anyway, after I finished the college and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, I worked for a year, and there was a guy in my accounting department at Marathon named Roy Hinkle, and Roy Hinkle asked me, we would play pitch during the lunch hour, and Roy Hinkle asked me, and the law school was largely at that time a night school. Tulsa University was, and most of the people going there were Korean veterans, and they were like me. They were married, and some of them had children. And Roy Hinkle asked me one day, did I ever think about going to law school? And I said, yeah, I'd thought about it. I had an uncle who, Reed, my uncle, one of my uncles, who was kind of a role model for me. He was in the World War II, and he was a commander on an oil tanker in the Pacific. And he was kind of a role model for me, and he had intended to go to law school when he graduated from Hardin-Simmons University, I believe, in Texas, and intended to go to law school. World War II broke out, and he joined the Navy, and he had a college degree, and he was an officer, and he became eventually executive officer on an oil tanker. And he was kind of a model for me, and I admired him, and I knew that he had wanted to go to law school, and then he got married, and he didn't go after the war. And Hinkle asked me if I had ever thought about it, and I said, well, yeah, I thought about it. And he said, well, I'm going to go down and talk to him on the noon hour tomorrow. Do you want to go? Why don't you go with me? And I said, okay, I'll go with him. So we went, and we talked, and we found that we could go to night school. We could finish law school in 4 years at night. We had to go 5 nights a week for 4 years, and study all weekend, and the rest of the night after you got out of class. And we said, well, maybe we'll go next semester. And the lady said, well, you can go next semester, but you can't go next semester. If you're going to go, you got to go now, because everything next semester has a prerequisite that's going to start now. And so within 2 weeks, we found ourselves, we had to get recommended. You had to register as a law student with the state, with the Oklahoma Supreme Court. You had to register, and you had to get 2 lawyers to recommend you, and we did that. And so within a short time, we found ourselves in law school. We went 5 nights a week. I worked all day. We went 5 nights a week. Then we would go to law school 2 nights, 2 hours, and then we would go somewhere and study. And I would find myself at home maybe 10, 11 o'clock, and Carol put up with that. And when I became a lawyer, I developed a reputation. I didn't come over to try lawsuits, but I ended up in the courthouse 5 days a week almost after a short time. I came over to examine titles. Raymond Bassman